Hey everybody, I'm Jackson.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is Who It At?
The Masked Singer Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Who It At?
The Masked Singer Podcast.
I love how we do that. Like, we know we have the intro for
we
that
do
already.
Have the intro, but
and yet we
have to
do it
anyway.
anyways.
It's
We
okay.
do. God, if you can't tell from the excitement in our voice, we just finished watching Season 4, Episode 3 of The Masked Singer. A good episode. I know.
Although I was a little disappointed when they announced we were not going to see Group C, but at the same time, any excuse to see Sun again.
I am glad you brought that up. I think that would be a good sort of lead off for our discussion.
Oh, for
How about
sure.
we lead off with that? We get into the Nick Cannon outfit ratings, talk about a few other things.
We gotta do housekeeping stuff.
I guess we do have something to start off with. Okay, that's a little teaser, so just know we're about to talk about that.
All right, yeah, so housekeeping stuff real quick. We've gotten a bunch of new iTunes reviews this week, so thank you so much for that.
Thank y'all so much. If you haven't left an iTunes review, if you like us, please do that. Or if you want to subscribe to us on Patreon, we have a Patreon connected to our other podcast, the Greenlight Podcast, so we'll put the link in our description. We would love for you to support us in any way. We might be pushing out some bonus content soon.
Yeah, for this show, and there's lots of bonus content out for the Greenlight, so there's plenty of patron exclusive
So if you
stuff
like,
out there.
especially if you like movies and people drinking and then talking about them, that's good for that.
And one more thing I wanted to say, I said this on our other show, but my birthday is in like a week and a half. So
yes, that's true.
If you want to make me really happy, subscribe to our Patreon, or if you
for Lauren.
want to do something free, an iTunes review would be great.
Yes. Also, we started a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited. It's mostly just recordings of our podcast that we put up there. It's J&L Closet Pods. We'll put the link in our description.
So both of our podcasts are on there all in one place.
We think we're going to maybe throw up some video content
throw up some videos later. Yeah.
You know, just as a fun little thing. If you have any ideas for stuff you'd like us to do, definitely hit us up and let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
We would love to
Tweet
do
at
some
us
stuff.
or DM us on Instagram or something.
Yeah, exactly. Email us, whatever. So, that's it, I think. Housekeeping.
Yeah.
Sweep that under the rug. Okay, so now, let's talk about, we saw Group A again tonight.
Yes.
We have not yet to see Group C. I said that weirdly, but, so what did you think of that? What are your vibes?
So,
vibe check.
Like I said, I am disappointed that we've not yet seen Group C. However, I didn't know if you wanted to say this, the thing about the World Series.
Oh, I can. I'm looking it up just to make sure that it's true.
We think that maybe the Masked Singer, we might not have the Masked Singer for a couple weeks. If that happens, we will find something else to talk about and post it. No worries.
We will.
But we might not have the Masked Singer for a couple weeks. So we think that maybe what happened is that they didn't want us to see Group C and then have to go back through Group A and Group B again and not end up seeing Group C for like over a month. Yeah,
because the World Series oftentimes airs on Fox. It's going to be probably 2 weeks. I looked at the schedule today. If the games go fast, like if there's a sweep, it might not be a full 2 weeks, but if it goes the full 7 games, it definitely will be a full 2 weeks. There's a potential for no Masked Singer for 2 straight weeks, which would be tough. I'm fine with that. At first, I was like, I really want to see Group C, but I think it would be a weird cutoff so obviously we finished with the Group A sort of play-in round. That first round. We're gonna finish with Group B next week, which is interesting. We'll talk about that more at the end. But we're gonna somehow the Group B finale before they all are funneled in together, and then we'll get probably a couple weeks in a row. I would think of Group C maybe.
Yeah,
so they can knock it down.
Well, it's also so they called this the Group A playoffs, but if it's structured similar to last season where it goes down to a final 9,
which I assume
then really we're done with Group A for now.
That was the Group A finale.
Yeah, even though they called it the Group A playoffs.
Yeah.
So
the Group A as we know it, as just just that group performing at once is what I meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do think it's interesting because just as people who naturally latch on to things, I think it's kind of hard that we haven't been able to latch on to someone from Group C. And I feel like for us, that might be hard. But as we know, people who are watching this probably haven't seen earlier episodes. Like people who are in the audience. So it shouldn't affect voting in any way. It shouldn't be like more biased for Group A and B because we've had longer time to ruminate with them and to marinate
For sure.
Look at my words tonight.
Whoa. Okay. No, but yeah, my only thing with Group C is that, you know, it kind of sucks that we've already seen 2 eliminations from Group A before even seeing anyone from Group C.
That's true.
Like, it sucks that we already have some guesses kind of locked and loaded, and there are some people we haven't even heard yet.
Yeah, it's like kind of fun and exciting though. Because I like it's an entirely new group. Who knows what they're going to be? We have literally 1 clue to go off of for all of them.
Yeah.
Still Missy Elliott locked in for Jellyfish.
Yeah.
Mark my words. But, yes. So, it's fine. I think it's okay. It should be fun. We love The Masked Singer. Okay, so let's do our Nick Cannon outfit rating real quick. So, go ahead. You mentioned this.
Yeah. So, as you may have noticed watching this episode,
if you have a sharp eye.
Everyone was wearing the same thing they were in, I believe, the preview episode.
It was a preview, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, Jenny McCarthy was in her blue ball gown. Nicole Scherzinger was in her kind of cool Pope outfit looking thing.
Yeah. Ken and Robin were in their plant-themed outfits, as Joel later mentioned in a funny fashion.
And Nick Cannon was, again, in his really cool comic strip jacket that we really like. Sparkly loafers, awesome. He did come out with a giant, like, silver sparkly mask that I don't think we had seen before. So that was very cool. Maybe he wasn't wearing it for that long, obviously. But, so, I mean, I don't know. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm going to bump my rating down a little bit just because we've already seen it. I'm going to go 4 out of 5.
Well,
I'd like to see something new, Nick.
We wouldn't have noticed if, like, I think...
We didn't have such eagle eyes.
I mean, true. But no, I mean, I think if both he and Nicole weren't wearing such distinct outfits, I wouldn't have
They are very
noticed.
distinct, yeah. Jenny's outfit is definitely more, like, it's a blue dress. It's nice,
Jenny.
but it's like, yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, cool. Nick Cannon outfit rating... We want something new next week, Nick. Please give it to us.
Please.
Pretty please. Okay, so what did you think about the drone bit at the beginning that they let off
You mean the no-fly zone thing?
Yeah, like that skit that they had at the very beginning.
Yeah. I thought that was fun.
I thought it was fun, too.
It definitely led into the bit where, you know, we have our drone clues this week.
Yeah.
You know, it definitely set that up, even though if they're saying it's a no-fly zone, it is kind of weird that they have drones flying throughout the show.
A bit contradictory there.
I enjoyed it.
I think it's another good way. I feel like as the seasons have progressed, they've gotten better about utilizing the Men in Black in more creative and fun ways.
Well, it's
and I think it's another example of that.
Yeah. Well, it's fun, too, because, you know, obviously they don't ever say anything, but it is getting to a point where I can kind of recognize them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have their own
I can tell that they're the
sure.
same guys.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Masked Singer, if you're listening, make me a Men in Black, please. I would love that.
A Man in Black.
A man in black, I guess. Sorry, grammar police over there. But I would love to. I don't think I'm tall enough because all of them look tall and I'm only 5'8". But I'll wear lifts.
Some platforms.
I promise. Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it to be on The Masked Singer as a man in black.
Okay.
Now... One more thing, I think, before we actually dive into the show. Yes, the performances.
So,
we gotta talk about it. You know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say.
We had a new character on the show.
We did. Robin Mask. Robin Mask. Not the lovely bird, but in fact, one of our panelists, Robin Thicke.
And as a mask, but it was someone else wearing the mask.
It was someone else wearing the mask. Now, I love Joel McHale. That's all I have to say. He's great. I think he's my favorite, and of course, I'm a huge fan of Community, the TV show that Joel starred on.
Me too.
So we obviously have a special place in our hearts for him. However, I think he provides his own unique energy that I don't think is there on the panelists already.
I agree. I think he's my favorite guest judge for sure. I wish he was a permanent judge.
And here's the thing. Some of the guest judges, I feel like, don't add anything really. They come in, they're here to promote something, whatever. A good example was Jason Biggs from last year. I think Jason Biggs is a funny guy. I've heard him on different interviews and things, and he's really funny. The guy from American Pie. I don't know if you...
Okay.
Anyways, but when he was a guest judge on The Masked Singer, I was like, he's just kind of there. He's like making a couple jokes, but his personality wasn't really standing out.
Sure.
I think whenever Joel's on, he shows his personality.
Well,
he's funny.
Like,
his back and forth with Ken is great.
Yeah.
I think he always is a great guest host.
Yeah.
And, you know,
him singing...
Oh, we're keeping it.
No.
Yes, we are. Yes, I thought now, first off, that song is not an easy song to sing, I don't think.
It's also a bad song. Hot take.
It's also not a great song.
Just in terms of lyrics.
Yeah. But I thought he owned the stage. I'm going to say it.
I agree.
Now,
I thought he owned the stage.
Now, question. Who would have gotten out first if Joel was in Group A? Where would he have gotten out if he was in Group A?
Sorry, Joel. I think he would have gotten out first.
You think first?
Well, no, I just think if based on Giraffe's first performance, he should have gotten out. But considering the Dragon, if we're going with the canon that Dragon got out before Giraffe,
yes.
I think Joel McHale will get out before Busta Rhymes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think Busta Rhymes was getting out first week no matter what he did, just because of what we've talked about before.
Yeah.
But I think
McHale sounded fine for a part of it.
I think Joel has better stage presence than Giraffe.
That's
I think
true.
he would have picked
agree.
a better song, and I think that would have...
He would have picked something that... Yeah, if he was an actual serious contestant,
exactly.
That's fair.
That would have catapulted him
I was going
further.
based on this performance.
I understand, as you should, as we all can go off of. But I have to defend my boy. Okay.
All right, moving on to the actual performance.
So yes, as you know what we do, we go in order of performances besides the person who got out. And the person who got out...
We're going to do last.
Yes, we are going to do last because they actually went second.
Yeah.
But,
so that's a spoiler, so just so you know, if you have not watched the show and don't want it spoiled for you, please stop this right now.
Well, why'd you start it to begin with? If you
That's true, if you don't want spoilers.
Yeah.
It does say recap in the title.
Exactly. We're gonna spoil everything for you. So, who was our first contestant of the night, Lauren? Yes.
Pop.
They were Pop. God, we are on Community.
Community is so good.
Community sponsor us, even though you've already... finished your
everything.
run a while ago, but still.
But yeah, Popcorn.
So let's talk about their song first, right?
Yeah.
So they sang Falling by Harry Styles.
They did.
What did you like about this performance? What did you hate about this performance?
I didn't hate anything about this performance.
I'm
Calm
kidding.
down. No, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, again, you can definitely tell Popcorn's a little bit older, but the technique is still there. She still sounds great.
See, this performance, I thought was a little... stronger vocally than the first performance, to be honest. The stronger...
I thought the first one was better. They were both good, though.
Stronger as in more... Not as in, like, better.
Youthful?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought they sounded a little more... I don't know what else to use besides strong. Powerful, maybe? I don't know. I felt the first one was great, and maybe it was a little more emotional, which is why they were wavering a bit more, but I thought there was less of that in this.
Okay.
I thought it was very good. Obviously, they're a trained singer. Strong vocals. I did kind of feel like, and maybe this is why they sounded stronger, I felt like there was a decent amount of, like, backup vocals that they had.
There were a lot of backup vocals.
Could you tell that? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was just me. But still someone who has very strong vocals. I think we can say that. This or the Harry Styles version? What's your favorite? Have you heard the Harry Styles version?
No.
I don't think I have either.
My sisters were super into One Direction, so as a result, I was not at all into One Direction, so I don't really listen to anyone from One Direction.
Lauren, classically going against the grain.
Yeah. Did the same with Twilight.
Well, and now we love it, so look at us now. Look at us now.
Okay.
But yes, so now...
let's get into some clues.
Very good. I think... where would you rank them? 1 through 4.
Okay. I mean, I'd say second out of 4.
I'd say second as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now let's get into the clues. I have it pulled up if you would like me to just read what Popcorn said.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, read what Popcorn said, and then I'll point out some images.
Yes. So she said, I picked the popcorn costume because I wanted to step far outside of my comfort zone. But my favorite part so far is flirting with Nick. I'm not the only one here looking like a snack. Ho ho ho. I wasn't always a healthy treat. When I was a tiny colonel, I suffered from a bizarre condition. I couldn't eat or sleep, I developed severe anxiety, and felt like I was in an emotional prison. Until I dug deep into my pop core and found my voice, which led me away from the drama to the other side. Yes, because of my voice, I survived. And tonight, I can deliver up another delicious performance.
Okay, so some images we saw in the clues. We saw the corn and the beautiful. There were various soap opera themes throughout this clue package, which was interesting because last clue package was Sex and the City themed.
Yes.
And yeah. So some other images we saw lots of cats. We saw a bunch of candles making the number 16, so 16 candles.
Yes.
We saw a crimper and a Rubik's Cube. We saw the LGBT flag.
So 80s,
Yeah, so 80s stuff in general. And then for our bonus clue, we had Venus. Like the planet Venus?
Yes. And the quote was, the second rock from the sun may be far away, but it should bring you closer to me.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been throwing out, like, Oh, well, maybe it's Venus Williams, Vanessa Williams, something like that.
Vanessa Williams, yes, that was one of the guesses. Oh, yeah, they guessed Gloria Gaynor, Katy Perry, and Vanessa Williams.
Yeah, those were the panelist guesses.
Before you go, because I know yours is very good, very well thought out, and what I'm going to end up stealing as well.
Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb. This is Susan Lucci. I said it at the beginning.
I know,
Susan Lucci was gonna be here. That's the only reason why I think it's Susan Lucci. That is the only reason why I have an inkling that it might be her.
I go off one clue all the time.
I just think we have 5,000 episodes of TV that we have to get through, and all of these people. How are we gonna do that?
I don't know.
Maybe someone from a talk show, but we haven't seen. I don't think we've seen anyone really from a talk show so far.
Yeah.
So. Susan Lucci, welcome to The Masked Singer as Popcorn. And now Lauren is going to give you her really well thought out, what's much more likely to be correct guess.
Okay, so hear me out. I went off the 16 candles clue.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, Molly Ringwald, A, probably not Molly Ringwald, but B, that would be too obvious for 16 Candles. So I said maybe someone who was on the 16 Candles soundtrack. So I looked up the soundtrack, and the two most like recognizable female singers that, you know, like weren't just listed as a band or something on the 16 Candles soundtrack were Patti Smith and Annie Golden. I don't think it's Patti Smith just because she sounds a little more like on the folksy side. Most of the more recent songs I found of her were like Bob Dylan covers and stuff like that. And Popcorn definitely seems like a belter. Yeah. I'll keep Patti Smith in my back pocket, but I think my guess right now is Annie Golden. So yes. Annie Golden is probably most well known for playing Norma on Orange is the New Black. I believe she's the mute one. And she's also been in all kinds of Broadway shows. She did Hold the Phone for 16 Candles. She was actually in a punk band called The Shirts. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the Venus connection could be. I mean, she worked with this guy, Jason Sweet-Tooth Williams, on this thing called, like, the Broadway Bounty Hunter.
Sure. A bit of a...
It's a bit of a stretch, thing. So I don't totally know what that connection could be.
Getting real limber for that
You know, I looked up some videos of her singing, and a lot of the stuff she does... The voice could definitely be her. She definitely does a lot of character-y stuff, so it's hard to tell how she actually sounds when she's singing, like, in earnest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now... I love this guess.
Trivia.
I love this guess. Annie Golden is very close to my heart. I know her personally. That's not true. That's not true.
He's seen her.
I have. So I went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, go Tar Heels, for my undergraduate career.
I just rolled my eyes.
We have on campus, there is a regional theater playmakers repertory company. And I can't remember what year it was. I want to say 2017? They did a production of Sweeney Todd. And guess who played lovely Miss Lovitz?
Patti Smith.
No, stop it. Stop it, you.
I'm just trying to ruin this for you.
Annie Golden played Miss Lovett on Playmakers Repertoire Company at UNC Chapel Hill's production of Sweeney Todd. And so I would love if it was her. Yeah. I think Lauren did a lot of good research.
I want to go back in the other clue package, or, you know, especially be on the lookout in future clue packages for an Orange is the New Black clue.
Try to sparse some things out.
Because that is the thing she's most well known for.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean... No, never mind. I couldn't walk, couldn't talk clue was a different person.
They also could be saving an Orange is the New Black clue
for later. That's
because
true.
They probably
that'll be the reveal. That'll be the thing that reveals.
And they probably recognize that she is going to stay on a while.
Sure.
So I could see them holding that off, holding it a little closer to the chest.
So that's my my guess, locking it in. Annie Golden. Boom.
Okay, I mean, I really want to go Susan Lucci, but until I have any other clues besides soap opera, I think I'm gonna go with Annie Golden. Also for the UNC connection.
That's
go
fair.
Heels. Go Heels. Okay.
I get the extra point, though. I came up with it.
You do get the extra point. Oh, I get it. Yes, you do. You do. Okay, so we're gonna skip over the second person who went, because we're gonna talk about them last, because they got out. And the next people who we saw...
Are they people, or are they snow owls?
They are for sure snow owls, we know that. I assume there are people under them, but we will see.
That would be a twist.
Yeah, it sure would be. Okay, so they sang... Is the song called I'm Gonna Love You? Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna love you.
Song by Meghan Trainor. Like I'm Gonna Lose You.
And John Legend.
Like I'm Gonna Lose You, I think is the official title.
Yeah.
Yes. Good song. I thought they did it well.
I thought they did it well. I stand by what I said last week, that they sound better together than they do as individuals.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that... Yeah, you're right. I think that's exactly what I was gonna say. The man
definitely got the country twang this
sounds
week.
country.
Yeah,
he definitely has that. You can tell it a lot more when he sings on his own,
for sure.
And I think he was trying to mask it in the first one because I don't think you could hear it as much when he sang on his own. So the choreography was a bit strange. When they started pecking at each other, it was fun. I don't know. I don't know how far they're going to go if they don't go outside of the egg.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense they didn't do it this time because I think it makes sense for them to be pretty confident
they
knew
were not
they
going
to get out this week.
They knew they were going to be.
But I think, especially since this was probably the last time that we're going to see Group A for a while, I think that once they go into the final 9, and we see that next performance, I think that's when they're going to break out.
Sure. I just wonder what they're going to do because they definitely sound older, so how much movement can they do? I would love, and this would be probably hard, I would love if they did like a nice little ballroom routine or something like that.
That would be nice.
That would be really fun, and really cute.
That's doable to sing while you do that too.
Exactly. So I think that would be a fun little thing that they could do together. So let's get into the clues a little bit. So let me pull this up. Shoot. I'm stupid. I accidentally clicked away for okay, here we go. So I'm gonna say what the voiceover was. Lauren's gonna give you some of the visual clues.
Yeah.
So our Masked Singer debut was a hoot. And while we love being the first to ever compete as a pair, wheeling around in a giant egg isn't all it's cracked up to be. Luckily, we've always had each other's back. Like when I was going through a messy breakup and I got swept through an avalanche of emotions. I took his side and was his anchor, despite beaklash from our community. And while I was in low places, he was my knight in shining armor. I had an opportunity fit for a queen that I was too scared to do. But I said, you can do it! So I took a leap of faith and it was life-changing. Being there for each other has made us super tight. Just usually not this tight. And obviously they were switching back and forth with their voices there. Yeah. I should have done individual voices for them.
Or we shouldn't have read them. Missed opportunity. We'll do it next time.
Yeah. Sorry, folks.
Okay, so some images that we saw in this. On when Avalanche of Emotions was said, one of the snow owls was covered in what looked like shaving cream. There was an anchor that said anchor management. The man was a different color, so we thought maybe anchor man, something like that.
Sure.
There was a spinning baseball that said DAL on it, so obviously Dodo Airlines from Animal Crossing. Anyway, there was...
I didn't catch that until you just said it now.
There was a bouncy castle. Those were, all the really big things. And then their bonus drone clue was a witch hat.
Yes, and they said, we will tip our hats to whichever one of you figures out the clue.
Yeah.
Now, as Lauren had a very solid guess for the last one, I have a very solid guess for this one. So, and Lauren could back me up, I guessed this before the judges did.
He did.
I did. So I feel confident in my and the more I look into it, the more it adds up. So I can't remember who guessed it, but someone guessed Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood. I when I heard the male snow owl sing tonight, I was like, that voice sounds familiar. And then I was like, is that Garth Brooks? Is that the best-selling solo artist of all time in the United States? Because that is who Garth Brooks is, in case you didn't know.
Blew my mind, because I have never listened to a Garth Brooks song in my life.
I feel like you have. I feel like you've heard it.
I don't know. Maybe I have, I just didn't know
You've rejected it because you don't like country music.
I don't like country music.
But you've probably heard one of his songs.
I'll stand by that.
So, a couple of the things, especially from this clue package, that makes sense with Garth Brooks, besides the fact that he is a country singer and this person sounds kind of like him. So, they talk about how he went through a messy breakup and got swept up in an avalanche of emotions. He had a divorce from his first wife in 2001, and he married Trisha Yearwood. Oh, did I say Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood?
Yeah.
Okay. He married Trisha Yearwood in 2005. Messy breakup. He also, during that period of time, he also sort of like retired from music. So he sort of had a brief retirement period, 2001, 2005, got back into it around the same time he married Trisha Yearwood. There's the female snow owl says, while I was in low places, Garth Brooks has a very famous song, Friends in Low Places, so very much like that. He also, he was my knight in shining armor. I had an opportunity fit for a queen that I was too scared to do, but he said, you can do it. Trisha Yearwood started a cooking show in 2012. She sort of took a break from music, and she ended up winning a Daytime Emmy for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she says, so I took a leap of faith and it was life-changing. I feel like that's pretty life-changing.
I agree.
To me. There was also the Pearl in the first one. As Jenny mentioned, he started a record company called Pearl Record. Mm-hmm. I kind of think it's Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood.
No, that sounds pretty good.
I really think it's Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood. Some of the other guesses, Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams.
Will Ferrell would definitely be like putting on the Southern thing, if anything, but I don't think so.
I don't think he can sing that well. To be honest, Will Ferrell is a man of many talents, but I don't think he's that good vocally.
Well, it's also just like beyond Eurovision. Do they have another connection?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just seems like for someone to be a duo on this, like
they have to have some sort of
it's like a close bond. Like either they've starred in Thing After Thing together, or
for sure.
Like
for sure.
Yeah.
They also guessed Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman, and as Lauren did not grow up on country music, I very much did. And that just really doesn't sound like Keith Urban's voice to me. I also think Keith Urban sounds a little younger than they do. I mean, they both can sing. Nicole Kidman can also sing.
Yeah.
So, like, that's something. But, yeah, I'm sticking with my Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood guess.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on that guess.
Wow.
You jumped on my guess.
I did. The community at large has thrown out just the Masked Singer community in general. And I'm going to say it, and it might make us worse podcast hosts for it, but I think our guesses, because they come from the heart, are better. I don't like going on YouTube comment sections. I don't like having other people tell me their guesses, because I like coming up with them on myself. I like the journey. I think that's part of the show. I love the sense of accomplishment
coming up with it by myself.
Exactly.
I feel like when I really, really know who someone is from YouTube comments or from someone in our house, Will telling us who somebody is.
And Will is great. We love Will, Tipsy Tarot podcast.
I'm like, wow, I know who this is now.
Yeah.
But also I can't discover it for myself.
Yeah, so that's part of the fun. So we do our best to sort of avoid stuff like that.
Yeah.
But stuff has been thrown around in the community about Clint Black and his wife, Lisa Hart. I think that's right. Oh, did I mess up her name? Lauren Stahl.
So anyway, I mean, that's really all I have to say about the Snow Owls, to be honest. So
Lisa
I need
Hartman.
to find her name.
I missed the min. But yes, so I still really like Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood. I really like that. And the voice really sounded like him. So I think I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. I'll lock it in, because you sound like you have a lot of conviction and confidence.
Yeah, well, that's been my downfall. My hubris has been my downfall in the past.
Okay, so moving on to my favorite performance of the night. I know it was your favorite performance of the night.
Yes, correct.
The Sun!
Yes, and as Lauren mentioned, the best performance of the night. I think objectively, we can say that.
So good. After this performance, I was like, what if literally everyone votes for the Sun and they have to kick 3 people off?
Just get rid of everyone else who tied for last because Sun is so good. What did you think this in comparison to her first performance?
I liked her first performance better, but I thought she showed a different side of her voice this time. It was definitely more mixy, side. Yeah, for sure. And it's honestly like, I hear more of LeAnn Rimes, like her normal style of music in this performance than I did in the other one, because her normal stuff is definitely more mixy, like I've said.
For sure. I really liked her opener, which was the first performance of this entire season, and it blew me away.
No, it was a showstopper, for sure. And this was an incredible performance, too.
Well, this one felt weird to me. I feel like they did a weird cut of the song.
They did.
Because I know the song really well, and it's an amazing song.
It is.
Praying by Kesha. I don't know if we said that. She sang Praying by Kesha. But yeah, so that took me out of it a little bit just because I know that song so well and love it so much. But yeah, her performance was outstanding. Her performance was incredible. She's I think, like Nicole... Nicole said it, right? That she was the best
the
female
best
vocalist we have
that we've
seen.
had on the show so far. I agree.
By leaps and bounds, I would agree with that.
Candy Burris was great, but...
The
Sun.
Sorry, Candy.
Can't beat the Sun.
If the Sun was in your year, it would not have been close.
No.
There are a couple people. I think both the Sun and Serpent from this year may have been better than anyone. We've only heard Serpent sing once. Fine. But I think they may have been better than anyone we had last season.
That's a hot take, but that is
a hot take.
I'll take it.
You know I love Turtle. But vocally, I think so far.
No, I agree.
And once again, Jesse McCartney has a great voice, but he was also a very good overall performer, so it'll be interesting to see what Sun and Serpent do.
For sure.
Movement-wise. But, yes, let's talk about clues.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I did not pay I wrote down a lot of images. I did not pay that much attention to the clues just because we know who this is.
So I'll go through them, the voiceover. I love dressing up as the sun. It's like every day is Halloween. I really do feel like a kid again. I missed out on a lot of my childhood growing up in a fractured home, but lately I've made up for that lost time, discovering childlike outlets to make a magical... discovering childlike outlets to make life magical, like going into the woods to find harmony and nature. I love dirt in my toes. A young memory of mine in the land that slides as my heart walks a line. A young memory of mine in the land that slides as my heart walks a line. I don't know. And I've become a whiz at cooking up tasty treats for like-minded and material girls. Finally, I'm always looking at the bright side, burning ugly rumors out of my life. Now I'm over the moon in this ultimate outlet for fun and joy.
All right. So, let me see. We saw a Black Widow. We saw that she walked under a wood, as I think Nicole brought up.
Yes. So, yeah, the guesses were...
There was a blue heart butterfly also. That's about it. Okay. She burned a thing that said ugly rumors, and rumors was spelled not in the American way.
In the British way, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think maybe also the Canadian way. I don't know.
The Canadian way, yeah? That wasn't a good Canadian accent.
No.
So the panel guesses were Mandy Moore, Demi Lovato, Catherine McPhee, and, as Lauren alluded to, Carrie Underwood.
Yeah. Oh, I also wanted to say her drone clue was a magic 8-ball.
Yes, and the audio was, will this magic 8-ball help you conjure up my identity? Outlook, not so hot. Because sun.
Yeah.
Sun is hot. However... Outlook, not so hot. Yeah. So, we know who this is, right? Like, we know who this is.
Should we try and make connections with some of these clues with Leanne Rimes?
I'm trying to right now. I'm figuring it out. From what I've read, her childhood was kind of tough. And so, like, that would make sense. She started acting and singing from a very young age.
That's always tough.
Yeah.
Was she ever in Into the Woods? I wonder. Like, was she Little Red Riding Hood or something?
Into the Woods. Nothing says here.
Okay.
That she wasn't Into the Woods.
Yeah, that's fine.
What else? Underwood. What are some of the other
Immaterial
clues?
Girls, Walk the Line, potentially, or Walk a Line. There was a blue heart-shaped butterfly, Ugly Rumors, Burning.
Sure.
Black Widow.
I mean, there is. She filed a lawsuit against her father at one point.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's some stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is great content for an audio podcast. Us just messing around with our random voices. But once again, we know who this is.
She literally recorded herself singing "Cause I Love You" by Lizzo, and then she sang it on The Masked Singer, and we were like, "This is the same person," and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
That's kind of...
It's just Leanne Rimes.
Point blank, we're done here. Let's pack it up and go home, Leanne, because you're probably going to win.
Yeah.
And they're discovering childlike outlets to make life magical. She did that Disney thing. Disney special.
Which was alluded to in the first clue
package. True. I don't know. Who else could this be? Could this be Emily Blunt?
No.
Okay. Fine. Cooking up tasty treats.
I will say Catherine McPhee was more plausible for this performance. It was not plausible for the last performance.
Yeah.
But, Catherine McPhee sounds very mixy.
Sure.
Which is what this performance sounded like.
Yeah. So. Some of the clues almost made sense for my second guess of Miley Cyrus last week, but the voice, it's just so hard. Miley has such a distinct voice, especially now, that it just couldn't be unless she was throwing her voice. However, I'm getting more and more woke on this. We'll have to look into the clues a little bit more. But what if, and The Masked Singer would be brilliant for this, what if they knew that video was up on the internet? They saw it, and they told Sun, who obviously is a very talented singer, and who sounded different this week than they did last week. What if they were like, hey, look at this, can you do this? Look at this video, can you do this? And they were like, yeah, I can do that. And then they did that.
I mean, that would be crazy.
That would be wild, right?
But if that's the case, I still don't think it's anyone the judges have guessed.
You don't think it could be like Demi or anything like that?
Well, we kind of verified that it probably was not Demi Lovato last time.
Why? Just because of her voice?
Yeah, well, because we watched the video and we were like, I don't think that sounds like Demi. And even if she was throwing her voice like that, listening to her this week does not sound like Demi. At least not Demi now.
Maybe she's still throwing her voice. I don't know. It's just, I'm still stumped by them letting this happen. And so I'm trying to be woke on it, Lauren. I'm trying to be very woke on it. I'm trying to be ahead of the curve.
Okay.
Is there anyone else you think this could possibly be?
No.
Lauren was deep in thought there.
I was.
I mean, once again, especially week 1 clues all added up. These week 2 clues I feel like are a little more vague, I would say. So it's a little harder to tell.
Well, I don't know. Black Widow could also have something to do with poison or venom.
True, I forgot about the Black Widow. Did you mention the Black Widow?
I did. Yes, I did. You ignored it.
It's
fine.
I'm in my whole little
Okay,
world
we really
here,
should
Lauren.
probably move on to our last performance.
I guess.
Well, it was really our second performance, but the last one we're going to talk about, which was Giraffe.
Giraffe. If you have watched the episode, which, once again, hope you have, if you're listening to this, unless you just like listening to us talk, which, thank you.
Aw.
But, yes, so Giraffe sang, the song title is called Get Down On It. Yes, by Kool and the Gang. What did you think of the performance, Lauren?
So, I thought this was a much stronger performance than last time.
I agree.
I think that, obviously the person it is had a failed rap career, and he was really trying to rap, and he is not a bad singer. He did more of that this week. I wish he would have done it more in the first week.
And the unfortunate thing is, just because this group is so strong, I don't know even if he just sang if it would have helped him, but I thought he was much stronger.
He had to go home this week. That was kind of it.
I think he was much stronger on his vocals this week.
Absolutely.
And it is a thing. I do kind of want to hear more, and it kind of sucks, that he got out. And we were talking about this earlier. If he was on last season, I truly think he probably would have made it past the first round. He probably would have made it to Final 9.
I agree.
I think he was roughly, like, vocally, he could have been on par with Banana, Bret Michaels. Yeah. And if he would have stuck to his singing, but this year is not last year. We have a whole new group of talent. You gotta
really
adapt.
Good this year.
You have to adapt. And Giraffe, unfortunately, could not fully adapt.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the clues. So, Giraffe was revealed. Can we say it now?
Okay. So, first of all, I just want to say that we posted on Instagram the other day, is Giraffe going home, or does he have it in the BAG?
We were out in front of this.
Brian Austin Green, who was revealed as the Giraffe.
We were, yes. A lot of the week 1 clues led up to the Giraffe.
Yeah.
This article doesn't even have the clue package for the Giraffe, probably just because it got out. Do you have some of the clues written down, my love?
Yeah. So, let me see. There was a spotlight on a fox. Brian Austin Green is married to Megan Fox. There were peaches for the Peach Pit. They thought maybe it was an Atlanta thing, but it's not. Let me see. His bonus clue was a domino. It had both sides of the domino were 4s.
Yeah. Did we ever get clarification on what that meant?
It was never mind.
The domino?
I don't think so. Was it a 90210 thing?
Is he a minority owner in Domino's Pizza?
I don't know.
I don't think he is.
We also found out that he's like BFFs with Robin Thicke.
Yeah, they like live next to each other.
Know who he was.
Yeah.
Also, other things in other clues. The carnival thing in the first week was
alluded to one of his albums.
His album
Maybe
was
his
like
only
something
album?
about a carnival. Yeah, it was his rap album basically.
Yeah.
There was a racing thing, and that was about him
he
winning
won
the
Celebrity
Grand Prix
in 2016, I think.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
And I mean, to be fair, a lot of this stuff came from our housemate Will, who dove in the YouTube comments and a few days ago did the Charlie Day meme and said,
I know who this is. Yes,
it's Brian Austin Green.
Of course.
Because I had no idea who this man was. But he was on 90210. He was
apparently big in the 90s.
He was identified as a 90s icon, which I don't know.
90s icon, Brian Austin Green. It's not the 90s anymore, so that makes sense, I guess. Yeah. And we only lived through 3 years of the 90s, mostly incoherent for us as very young children. So I'm sure people who fully lived through the 90s love them some Brian Austin Green. But, yes, so those were the clues. Giraffe headed home. It was...
He apparently was in a band with Robin Thicke, too, called Think Twice.
Yeah, that was funny. I thought the end was charming.
It was
fun.
They came and sang together.
As we've talked about before on this show, Robin's not our favorite, but he can be charming at times.
Yeah.
And I think that was shown in that final thing.
Semi-mullet.
With his semi-mullet. The more hair Robin Thicke has, the more charming he is.
There you go.
I think so. He should just grow a big bushy beard, long mullet, and we'll love you, Robin.
Yeah.
We will love you. But, yeah, do you have any other thoughts on Giraffe? seeing as this is his
Not
goodbye.
really. Yeah, no other big thoughts on Giraffe.
His farewell.
I will say, I don't think we mentioned... I mean, I want to say that we've just kind of decided that we were also going to go with Brian Austin Green before we recorded last week's episode, but since Giraffe was not on that episode, we didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
It was not either of our idea, so I'm going to say... what is that? So do we each get 1 point, 2 points? How are we doing this?
It doesn't matter because
it
would be the same. We'll give each other one.
Okay,
to
we'll
make
just give
it easy.
each other one.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one. So currently it's 3-2, but
if I get the Annie Golden thing, I'll get an extra point. Though.
If I get the Garth Brooks Trisha Yearwood thing, I'll get an extra point. Pretty crazy how math works, eh? What about Leanne Rimes? Even for that, I assume.
I think we discussed that it would be even for that because it did come from YouTube comments.
That is true. It did come from the YouTube comments. Darn you, YouTube comments. You are too good at what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes. Final thoughts. We're seeing Group B next week.
Again,
Yeah.
For the finals, which makes us think that they are doing a double elimination to get it down to 3, so we can be ready for the final 9.
Do you have any guesses as who?
Any predictions?
Yeah, predictions of who might get out.
Sorry, whatchamacallit, you're gonna get out. If they're eliminating 2, you're definitely getting out.
Yes.
Okay, who else was in Group B?
I'm looking it up right now.
Seahorse was in Group B. Seahorse isn't getting out.
No, yeah.
Let's
see. Blah 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 blah. Serpent was in Group B. Serpent is certainly staying. Crocodile was also in Group B.
Crocodile might get out.
Baby Alien.
Baby Alien.
So yeah, to sum it up,
I'm gonna say whatchamacallit's probably definitely out, and then the other slot is Baby Alien or Crocodile. I'm gonna say probably Crocodile because Baby Alien. Well, I'm gonna say Baby Alien is just unique enough, costume wise, to stay on at least into the final 9. But at the same time, I think if we were truly judging based on vocal quality, Baby Alien would be the one getting out.
I think Crocodile is staying. I think it's gonna be Baby Alien. And
like classic rock kind of voice.
I think they're gonna show out really well. I think they might do something more in their wheelhouse if it is Nick Carter, who we thought. I think they might go more in their wheelhouse to save themselves for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think whatchamacallit's definitely going out. Who I hope is Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Because then I would be correct. If it's not, whatever, that's fine. Because it's hard. But yeah. So that will be next week. You will see us again next week. Then after that, TBD, I guess.
TBD. We'll find something to watch and do an episode about.
We will.
Or, I don't know, more rumors or something. Maybe some shorter episodes. We'll figure it out. We'll post about it on our social media, what we're going to do.
We'll pump out some content no matter what.
Pew pew.
Lauren, do you have any final thoughts on this episode or the episodes going forward? Or can we let these good people go on their merry ways happy? Slap them on the bum.
I'm tempted to say who I think Baby Alien is, but I'll save it.
Yeah, we could save it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, if you want to know who Baby Alien is, come back next week.
Keep listening.
And we love you. Thanks for listening.
Keep listening to Who It Up?
The Masked Singer Podcast.